First, racial intolerance, certainly an ongoing problem here in South Africa. People frequently subjected to racial slurs. The Human Rights Commission is holding a national conference on racism. So what are they hoping to achieve? Well, it's always a pleasure. The Commission's advocate, Andre Gaum, joining us from Cape Town this morning. Advocate, good morning to you. And when we talk about an issue such as racism, I know it's only a two-day conference, I believe. Where do you even try and start the conversation? You've got to start somewhere. Where does that begin for the Commission?
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers. Yes, we've celebrated 25 years of our Constitution now, but nevertheless, racism persists in South Africa, as is evidenced from the high number of race-based complaints received by the Commission annually, as well as through observations contained in research, investigative and hearing reports. And we've also seen the Senekal and Brackenfell High incidents, the highly publicized violent protests. So in view of all of that, the Commission has resolved to host a national conference on racism. It would be the second of its nature following the National Conference on Racism in 2000. And our theme is towards social cohesion, non-racialism, and the eradication of racial polarization and tension, because we are quite concerned about the high levels of racial tension and polarization in our country. We have even recently met with the chief whips of the political parties, the Chief Whips Forum, to also discuss it with the political parties in view of the upcoming local government elections, as well as heightened tensions and racial tensions in our country. And we've also invited all the political parties to this conference. Our invitation has been accepted by the ANC, who will be represented by Jesse Duarte, and also accepted by the Democratic Alliance. And obviously there are all kinds of perspectives pertaining to these matters, people holding different views, and therefore our aim is to really bring together as many stakeholders as possible to see how we can map the way forward.
Let's talk about the way forward, Advocate, if we could for a moment. Advocate, if we go back all those years when the previous conference was held, social media wasn't necessarily as prevalent back then. I'm not even sure if you said 2000, I'm not even sure social media was that big at all. That seems to have, to my mind, it's either made the situation worse or it has brought into light the situation as it has always been. It just means more people are talking about it. Just briefly, in the last minute or two I have with you, Advocate, surely social media and the way racism is being handled there must be a talking point.
It most definitely is. And I think you are quite right in terms of your second observation that what social media, in my view at least, has done is to basically bring to the fore what is prevalent in society. And I mean, we also see it, have seen it always from our complaints, that most of them deal with equality-related issues, and the dominant number of those complaints are race-based. But I think social media has most definitely worsened the situation in the sense of, these race-based slurs and so on coming to the fore very pertinently through that medium. That will be one of the issues that we will be discussing most definitely today.
And I appreciate your time, and no doubt we'll be hearing from yourself, Advocate Andre Gaum, and members of those people you've invited to the conference as well, have a variety of voices as far as the country is concerned. My thanks to you, Advocate, and all the best with what I think is going to be the start of your conference, SA Human Rights Commission. Advocate Andre Gaum joining us here on ENCA. We'll follow up after that conference is done and see what that map does look like for social cohesion.